I'm a big fan of scheduling. Most people don't like schedules. They use a schedule like it's a prison. The way you use a schedule is that you produce a contract with yourself to have the day you'd really like to have. Look, I'm a big fan of scheduling, and most people don't like schedules. They don't like using a Google Calendar, for example, which I use like religiously. And that's because they use a schedule like it's a prison. They write down all the things they have to do. And then they fight against that because they put themselves in, it's like they're their own worst superego. They're their own tyrant. This is the day you have to have. That's not how you use a schedule. The way you use a schedule is that you produce a contract with yourself to have the day you'd really like to have. And to repeat that, think, well, there are a certain number of things I have to do to keep the world in order around me day by day. So I have to schedule those in because otherwise the chaos mounts and that's not good. And then I want to mix in there a certain amount of leisure so that I get a chance to think and to recover. And I want to lace that with the opportunities that I really want to pursue. And I want to play with that until the balance between that proclivity to order and that proclivity to pursue chaos and opportunity is optimized, so that when I look at my schedule, I think I could do that. And at the end of that, I'll be satisfied that I conducted myself responsibly and I took proper advantage of the day. And so this is particularly true. You're a father now, your responsibilities are multiplying. You have to organize your time intelligently, and there's all sorts of ways to increase the amount of time you have. If you're finding it difficult to find time to do your creative work, get up at 5. It only takes 2 weeks before you're accustomed to that. And then you might have 3 hours in the morning before you have any other responsibilities at all. And pay particular attention in your schedule. This is something people never get right, to the things that repeat every day. Because the things that repeat every day, that's your life. Get those things right. And if you there's no limit to the number of things you do if you use your time wisely, and also if you build a bit of an organization around you and distribute responsibility. And if you're facing too many challenges on the domestic front, maybe you need some help. But assume that you can do it and pursue your opportunities, live up to your responsibilities, but optimize your time utilization and put some help in where you need it. And then play with your schedule until you think, man, if I did all that in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, if I did all that day by day, I'd have the life I'd really like to have. So you can do that. The true goodness in the pursuit of improvement is walking the pathway of improvement. It isn't like, so what you need is you don't have to be somewhere good, exactly. And you don't even have to be you certainly don't have to be doing things perfectly. You have to be aiming up, right? And then if you're aiming up and you're walking that pathway up, then that's good. Now, there's still room for improvement, but the thing is, that's part of it being good. You wouldn't want a situation where you had run out of room for improvement, because you'd be out of possibility. The worry-free time. There's a cognitive trick that goes along with that. What happens is, if you put aside that time and a worry comes up, what you do is you tell yourself, I will worry about that, at the scheduled time. And the alarm part of your brain is the part that produces anxiety. And it's not exactly a cognitive part. It doesn't exactly care what your plan is. What it cares about is that you have a plan. It's like a little kid who's anxious. It wants to know that someone's in control. There's lots of good plans, but a very bad plan is no plan. So if you get worried and you say, I will think exactly about that at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and you train yourself, that'll work. That'll work, yeah. It's very necessary, especially when all hell is broken loose.